Aloha everyone, welcome to Skincare with Hyram. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hyram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routine. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and to the notification bell so that you can see my videos. What was that? You can see my videos. You can see my videos every single week. It has been, what, 2 weeks since Ariana Grande came out with Positions? So tell me why I still can't stop listening to it on repeat every single day. It's unhealthy. Someone tell me to stop, please. It's just such a good song. I can't handle it. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm not that gay. Like, I'm not that gay that's like, yes, honey, queen, bitch, slay, twerk all day. Like, that's definitely not my personality. But then you look at my playlist and you find all Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa, and Nicki Minaj, and you're like, oh, that's a homo. Anyway, yes, this is totally on topic with sunscreen. It is time for the best sunscreens of 2020. If you haven't watched my best of 2020 series, I'm going through all of my favorite products category by category, in addition to my best of 2020 skincare video, because honestly, there's just too many good products that I cannot not share on my channel, and 2020 has been the year of, well, disaster. But besides that, for everyone, I think it's really been the year of experimentation, trying new products. And I love doing these videos because I'm able to tell you guys what the best products that I've been able to find are, but also hit you with some surprise products that I don't mention as frequently in my videos that you may not be aware of even if you watch my videos. Because for some reason I like to do this thing where I use a product for a long time and it's one of my favorites and I never talk about it on my channel. It's great. I do it all the time. I think it's because in my videos I always like to reach for the products that are next to me, and I never have my favorite products next to me because they're always in my bathroom. But anyway, in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys the best sunscreens of all time. Well, of 2020, but basically all time. Some of these are brand new discoveries this year. Some of these are products that I've discovered before this year. Some of them are really affordable. Some of them are a little bit more expensive. Some of them are USA based. Some of them are Korean based. There's a lot of variety, so we're just going to get into them, who I recommend them to, and why I love them so much. So let's get into it. I apologize ahead of time that I'm not holding up the products in my hand. I am currently away from home. I'm away from home for a month in total, and as much as I want to bring my entire skincare collection with me, it's just not humanly possible. But all the products that I'm talking about will be listed in the description box below. If you do want to support me and my channel, I would really appreciate if you use those links, as I make a small commission, and I've spent a lot of time and energy, blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, maybe not the blood and tears part, but I spent a lot of energy finding these sunscreens, and it would really mean a lot if you do use those links, but no pressure whatsoever. They're just there to make your life easier. So I'm going to first start out with my favorite mineral sunscreens, and then I'm going to end with my favorite Korean chemical sunscreens. Let's first do non-tinted and then tinted. Starting with a relatively recent find and one that totally took me by surprise, the Dr. Jart Mineral SPF 50 sunscreen. I got this one at Sephora just because I was randomly searching for new mineral sunscreens that I could try out, and this one randomly popped up. And normally I'm not crazy about a lot of Dr. Jart formulas because they do like their essential oils, and I'm just not on the essential oil game. But because they do utilize a lot of Korean innovation and some of their formulas have really worked for me in the past, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. I'm on my third bottle. It is so good. I originally was really hesitant to get this formula because it did include 2 different kinds of essential oils, but it is very, very, very rare that I find a well-performing mineral SPF 50. And the reviews are really good, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it out. Boy, I'm glad I did. This is one of the best mineral sunscreens that I have ever found. Let me just say, finding a high-quality mineral SPF 50 sunscreen is pretty much nearly impossible to find. The reason being, in order to achieve an SPF 50 rating, typically at that level, mineral sunscreens leave behind a severe white cast, like really, really bad, to the point that I really don't know of many, if any, SPF 50 mineral sunscreens that I use. So I was instantly skeptical, but once I started using this, I was not only amazed by its ability to really be diffused in the skin, I was amazed at how good it looks on the skin and how it doesn't increase any shininess, any oiliness, and that my skin never looked greasy throughout the day, which is also another challenge with SPF 50 mineral sunscreens. They typically feel like your skin is suffocating, like it can't breathe, and it drives me crazy. Being in a humid environment, this sucks. And this sunscreen just blew me away for both reasons. On the white cast rating scale, I usually rate it from 1 to 3. 1 being able to be used by people with more olive skin tone, and 3 being a very severe white cast. And if you are one of my amazing subscribers that does have a darker skin tone, stay tuned until the Korean sunscreens. Those will be the ones for you. For a white cast rating, I would say this has a white cast of 1. It does leave behind a tiny bit of white cast, but it's hardly noticeable, and it was amazing for my skin, and I found myself going back to it every every single day. The only thing I don't like about this one is that it does have 2 essential oils, specifically citrus essential oils, which Dr. Jart, if you are listening, please come out with a fragrance-free formula. I will buy it and use it forever. But over the course of this past year, I've been really trying to broaden my horizons when it comes to good quality sunscreens, because as they say, the best sunscreen is the sunscreen you'll actually use. And it's hard to find an SPF 50 mineral sunscreen that I really like because of the intense white cast, and I was just blown away by how good this formula was. Every time I use this product, I always made sure that the rest of my routine was completely fragrance free, just to make sure to avoid any of that possible irritation. But because it's protected my skin so well, I found myself using it over and over again. And being that it is an SPF 50, I do justify some of that fragrance. The next mineral sunscreen is one that I really haven't talked about, and it's the Love Kinship Probiotic Sunscreen SPF 30. Now, if you aren't familiar with Love Kinship, they're an incredible brand where their packaging utilizes collected ocean trash and repurposes it. Not only that, they have really good formulas and just overall have really good brand ethics. But this sunscreen blew me away because, like I said, it's a mineral-based sunscreen, but it works so well on people with really dark skin tones. If you are one of my dark skin babes, you know finding a mineral sunscreen is difficult as but I've seen people use this sunscreen on people with extremely dark skin tones and it looks beautiful. There's no white cast, and honestly, I'm just so impressed. Not only that, the ingredients are incredible. It has probiotics to help with the healthy bacteria levels on your skin, which I think makes it really good for anyone who has breakout prone skin. It's fragrance free and is overall a really good experience. The only thing I will say is that if you have really oily skin, this may not be the best for you, but overall I think the formula is great. I think the company is great, and it's one of those few mineral sunscreens that does work for darker skin tones. Now for the tinted mineral sunscreens, we have the First Aid Beauty Liquid Mineral Tint SPF 30. This one I discovered pretty early this year, and honestly, I have not looked back. It is an amazing sunscreen and works really well if you're someone who wants a tiny bit of coverage, if you do have a little bit of a darker skin tone, or you have really oily skin and want a sunscreen that does not leave your skin looking greasy at all. I think the main thing I love about the sunscreens is that it's literally weightless. It feels like nothing on the skin, and I've given this SPF to so many other people who really do not like SPF at all, and every time they've said, oh my god, it feels like nothing, and I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. I've used this one daily for months and it's deceivingly lightweight and disappears into the skin so well. I feel like it's great for anyone who really doesn't want to struggle with the white cast whatsoever, because I feel like sometimes it was a little bit too dark even for my skin. And there are multiple creators of color and black creators who actually do recommend this sunscreen specifically to people with darker skin tones. It's definitely one of the priciest sunscreens on this list, but if you are someone who struggles with extreme oiliness or you do want a tiny bit of coverage, this is such a good sunscreen to go with. And honestly, I find myself recommending it all the time. I'd say the only people who probably wouldn't like this sunscreen are people with extremely fair skin, because it does have a tint that makes it a little bit darker, but I would say I have relatively fair skin, and it's always worked really well for me. Like pretty much all First Aid Beauty products, it's fragrance free, has a great ingredient list, and it's just so impressive. I will use this for a long time. And then next we have my most recent find, the Sun Bum Tinted Sunscreen Face Lotion SPF 30. I'll be honest, this one completely took me by surprise. Sunbun was kind enough to send me their entire collection, and I was attracted to this one because it is mineral, it's fragrance free, it's affordable, and like their other products, it just has great ingredients. I will say, out of pretty much all the tinted sunscreens I've used, this one definitely has the most coverage, but oh my gosh, the way it makes the skin look is incredible. If you want smooth looking skin, this is the sunscreen for you. It has this nice blurring effect and disperses the tint really evenly to offset any redness or tone differences. I often found myself using this when I would film because for some reason when I film, it makes my nose look super red, even though my nose really doesn't look that red in real life. I don't know, it's probably because I still film with my phone. Take a hint, Hyram. But it really has a nice coverage. It makes your skin look amazing, and honestly, on days where I was struggling with a little bit more redness than usual, I found myself always turning to this sunscreen. For a white cast rating, I would say this is between a 1 and a 2. You will notice some white castability. It's fragrance free, non-irritating. The only thing I'm not crazy about is that the titanium dioxide is at a higher percentage than the zinc oxide, and typically I do like mineral sunscreens that have a higher concentration of zinc oxide, but for the experience alone, it was worth it. And if you are looking for a good drugstore sunscreen, this one is definitely a great one to go with. Finally, for tinted mineral sunscreens, the CeraVe Sheer Tint SPF 30. This one is their most recent launch, I believe, and one that I pretty much instantly fell in love with. I've always liked their SPF 30 sunscreen for the ingredients, but sometimes it can leave a bit of a white cast behind, particularly if you have darker skin tones. And this one is great because it has the same formula, but a nice tint to it to serve almost like a tinted moisturizer. Similar to the Sunbum one, this does provide a good amount of coverage, so be ready for that, but I love the sunscreen because it really made it accessible to people with a wider array of skin tones. On the white cast chart, I would say it doesn't so much give off a white cast as much as it does have a more specified tint, so not every skin tone would be able to use this sunscreen, I would recommend the Kinship one or the First Aid Beauty one instead. But I would say probably it has a rating of about 1.5. Just be aware of that coverage, girl. It's definitely there. But if you are someone who wants to utilize the incredible ingredients that CeraVe uses, this is definitely the sunscreen for you. Wow, okay, I didn't realize I have so many mineral sunscreens on this list, but honestly, I'm really grateful because Korean sunscreens aren't always as accessible to everyone like mineral sunscreens are here in the USA, or if you're in Europe as well. And at the beginning of the year, I did set a goal to find more mineral sunscreens, so I'm kind of proud of myself. Good job, Hyram. Another mineral sunscreen I discovered and fell in love with is the MDSolarSciences SPF 50 sunscreen. This, like the Dr. Jart one, it's just so good. It's so hard to find good mineral SPF 50s, and this one came through. I'd say it's a good mix of the Dr. Jart one and the Sunbum one. It doesn't have as severe of a tint as the Sunbum one, but it still gives this nice blurring effect to the skin, which is really nice when your skin's kind of going through it. But like the Dr. Jart one has a really good ability to have a high level of protection without you feeling like it's greasy, heavy on the skin, or has an intense white cast. I would personally give this a white cast rating of 1. It's really minimal, not noticeable at all, and definitely accessible by a good amount of skin tones. Hey, how y'all doing? So it's been a day later, and let me just explain. I filmed the second part of this video 3 times, and the files got corrupted every fucking time. Until I finally was just like, oh, I'm over this, I'm going insane, and I went to sleep. But today's a new day, we'll get through this video. We better fucking get through this video. But I believe I have 2 more sunscreens, that's it, we're almost done. Now these specific sunscreens are Korean chemical sunscreens. I'm not a fan of USA chemical sunscreens, but the ones that are approved for use in Korea are a lot more innovative and amazing for the skin because they have way less of a risk of sensitivity while still providing a high level of protection. And as much as I would love to say that I've discovered new sunscreens, these are still the same ones from last year. I have yet to find other sunscreens that even compare to these 2. The first one is the Klairs Soft UV Area Essence SPF 50. If you've watched literally any of my videos, I am constantly talking about this one. It is amazeballs. It's probably the most lightweight sunscreen I have ever experienced. There's 0 white cast, so it works for any skin tone no matter how dark you are. It absorbs really easily, almost immediately. And this is one of the only sunscreens where I can reapply it without noticing any heaviness, any greasiness whatsoever. Seriously, I've tried it before. I've put on 5 layers of this sunscreen before and it feels like nothing. That's how lightweight it is. It is insane. Like, I have never found a formula as good as this one. And that's why I'm constantly recommending it. And it's cool because I recently did a kit with Wishtrend where we had the sunscreen was a part of it, and it was so cool seeing your guys' messages saying, oh my gosh, now I know why you're obsessed with this sunscreen. It's literally the best thing in the world. And I'm like, I know. Hi guys, quick interruption that I wanted to say just because I felt like it was relevant and just to let you guys know so you can take advantage if you want to. I recently did a Wishtrend collaboration kit with all of my favorite Korean skincare picks, and the Klairs sunscreen was included in that kit. It's great because you get the whole thing for 45% off. And because it actually sold out really quickly, Wishtrend recently was able to restock everything. And the reason I'm mentioning it in this video is because not only does it include the Klairs Soft UV Area Essence, which if you've been eyeing it out for a while, this is a good time to take advantage, but also the Rovectin Clean Water Cream, which is featured in my best moisturizers of 2020 video that's coming. Alongside some of my other favorites. Supplies last until the 29th unless it sells out again before that, so just letting you guys know in case you do want to take advantage, the link will be in the description box below. If you are planning on getting a few of the products that I am mentioning in my best of 2020 series, this is a good time to take advantage. And then the last one, which this will come as no surprise, is the Purito Unscented Centella SPF 50. Now this sunscreen I think is great for its soothing ingredients, but also really because it just feels like a light moisturizer. It provides more hydration than the Klairs one, so typically I'll use this one during the winter months, but I'd say if you have normal combo to dry skin, this will be a fine sunscreen for you. It feels wonderful on the skin, and just like the Klairs one, it has absolutely 0 white cast, so it works for people with dark skin tones, and it's really affordable. I think it's the most affordable sunscreen on this list, or one of the most. And yeah, it's just really good, and I highly recommend this one to anyone who does have sensitive skin because it does have one UV protective filter that actually works really well to protect against UVA and UVB damage, so the risk of sensitivity is lower. And those are all the best sunscreens of 2020. I am really proud of myself for finding so many mineral ones and really pushing myself because I found so many new good ones this year. Like I said, all of them are linked in the description box below, and if you do want to support me, feel free to shop from those. And if you want to see my other best of 2020 skincare videos, feel free to go to the description box. I will have them all linked there. Do you guys have any favorite sunscreens from this year? Please comment them down below. I would love to see. Also, I would love to see Korean sunscreen recommendations because I feel like because I went so mineral hard this year, next year I kind of want to try out all the Korean sunscreens. See what that's all about. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.